So in this video, I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of Kanban views within Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Sales, explain what they are, where to find them, how to use them, and if they're not enabled in your environment, how to enable them in the back end. So let's go into the system and I'll show you what I mean by Kanban views. Now, first thing to say is Kanban views are used reasonably lightly, or very lightly in fact, within Dynamics 365 for Sales. They apply just to the opportunities area and the activities area. So I'm in an opportunities area at the moment. Specifically, I'm in the all opportunities view, but I can select any view. And then at the top here, I've got this show as button, and just to the right of that, I can see I've got a menu option. If I click on that, I've got the option to display this in a pipeline view. We've done videos on that in the past. Focus view, we've done videos on that in the past. And the Kanban view. So if I select Kanban, that's going to display all opportunities in a Kanban style view. Now, let's just walk through the basic navigation here. So I've got a button here called Edit Columns. That's redundant from the perspective of this particular view type. I do have the ability to edit filters. So each view that I choose here will have its own set of filters. Actually, all opportunities doesn't, but generally they will do. I could edit those filters, add to those filters if I wish to, if I want to refine the data that's displayed there. I can search by keyword as I can with all views. And then I've got a view here called Kanban type, of which there are two. The one I'm in at the moment, which is the business process flow, which I'll talk about in a second, and then status. We'll go on to that in a bit. In terms of the business process flow view, this effectively displays the stages in your sales process per your business process flow. Now, within this view, we've got the lanes. So these will reflect your stages or phases of your process. Now, these are the out-of-the-box ones: qualify, develop, propose, close. Obviously, these would be typically configured to be your stages, so they may well be different in your environment. And then we've got within those lanes, we've got cards. But just to summarize, just to show what we display here, by the way, you've got a summary. So I've got a summary of estimated value in that particular, or estimated revenue within that particular lane. And then it's the number of cards displayed here. So it's 9 of 9 here. It displays effectively in batches of 10, hence the reason for that number. Now, if we look at the cards, you'll see the first card in this column here has got a padlock on it, and that indicates it's inactive. Can't do anything with that really, other than have it for display purposes. It's inactive because it's either been closed won or it's been closed lost. As you see, it's blanked out. I can't do anything with it. But this one hasn't got a padlock. It is a live record, and I can edit that. So that's got inline editing of that data if we wish to update it. Now, the other thing I can do if I wish to is just click on the name at the top here, and then that opens up the underlying record, so I can sort of go into that and look at it in more detail if I wanted to get more information. So that's kind of the basics of how it looks. In terms of how it operates, I do have the ability to drag records between lanes. Now, I can only drag those to the next lane or the previous lane. I can't jump lanes. So in this particular case, if I drag charity test record into the proposed lane, you'll notice to my right that closed lane instantly padlocks up. So I can't take that to any further than propose. If I drag it into the propose, or try and drag it into the propose, what it does is it triggers the underlying record. And in this particular case, I actually have to set the next stage on the business process flow. And when I've done that, it's now moved that across. If I hadn't have done that, then it would have remained in the lane that it started from. So that is the basics of the business process flow Kanban type. And then if I just go to the next one, which is status, which is kind of a little bit more basic, even though this is fairly basic to be fair. The status one reflects the status of a opportunity record, which is going to be open, won, lost. And again, I can drag records from one to the other. So I'll just drag that into the one column, and then that triggers a different dialog. In this case, it's a close opportunity dialog. Now, I'm not going to do anything with this, and in which case it's not going to move it. But had I filled out the remainder of that dialog, that would have moved it across. So that is the Kanban views in terms of opportunities. As I say, the other area where it's available is within the activities area. For the sake of brevity, I'm not going to show that. It's exactly the same principle of this status Kanban view, and it's exactly the same setup effectively. So that's the front end. Now I'll just show you how to set that up in the back end. Just before I do that, just one thing to say is if you are looking to get more out of your dynamic system and you're looking for help and guidance on next steps, then feel free to reach out. I'll put a link below. Always happy to chat about your particular situation. Anyway, so let's go into the back end. So I've got this opened up already for the sake of brevity. I'm in the customization area. I'm actually going to do it via a solution, but the principles are the same. I'll select my solution that I want to use. I'll just use the objects here and select opportunities, and I'll just navigate through this left hand side. I'll select my view and I'll just pick a view, and what it enables me to do is I've got this button at the top here called components, and I can update the components on this view and it will turn it into a Kanban. I just need to get rid of one of these, get rid of the editable view. Ask me to add a component. It's suggesting some controls it's already got, which is editable grid and calendar, but I want Kanban view. So actually I'm going to ask to get more components. Do a quick search for Kanban. Add that, and then I can save, and I can save and publish that solution. So then that will update the system so that that Kanban capability is available. So that is a quick tour of Kanban views. As I say, it's pretty limited out of the box. It's kind of not very Microsoft Dynamics-y really, in the sense that it's a bit basic. It's not particularly sophisticated. It's not terribly flexible, but it does exist. And if you're a fan of Kanban views, it might help. But that's the out-of-the-box capabilities. There are third-party products designed to fill that gap. I haven't reviewed any, but I'm intending to at some stage. When I do so, I will put a link below of that review. Anyway, hopefully that helps with Kanban views. We've got a wide range of videos on Dynamics 365 for sales related matters, so feel free to check out the rest of the channel. As I say, if you need any help with Dynamics, check out the link below. Also, if you've got suggested content ideas, that'd be helpful as well. Anyway, thanks very much for your time today, and hopefully see you again soon.